This is LOG. Thank you very much for all the chairs and the speakers and the panelists from the first session. Now we'll be transitioning into the next session, which I termed it as open interactive session. Let me start sharing the screen. I would like to welcome all the dignitaries on behalf of the Indian government representations and the research organizations and things like that. So this is the lineup, and we'll be focusing on how effectively we can engage the Indian scientists and technologists diaspora that is spread around the globe. So let me make this presentation so that you can see the full slide. So the distinguished people who are with us today, Mr. S.K. Vashney from Department of Science and Technology. He is advisor and head for international cooperation. And then I believe Dr. Mule has joined, Ambassador Dhaneshwar Mule, whom I know from his... oh, thank you, Muleji. I know him since his times in New York as a Consul General. And I heartily welcome Ambassador Renu Paul. And we are very, very happy to have you, especially from Ministry of External Affairs. And a similar welcome to Dr. Ranjana, who successfully coordinated and implemented the Vaibhav Summit. And the lineup for the event is very simple. The goal of this whole GIST meet is in terms of understanding where we are today as a SNT diaspora and where the bodies in India. And therefore, if we can have some discussions in terms of what is that is required to put some mechanics in terms of utilizing the strength of the diaspora for the development of Bharat. And we believe that if Bharat becomes good and self-sustained, the impact will also be felt at the global level. We have discussed internally and we have identified what are the challenges and opportunities and the suggestions that Indian diaspora has. This is not the complete list, and this needs a little bit more thinking, more articulation, but I'm just going to be present what we heard in the first cut, unedited versions. Later, we would be requesting Dr. Mule to focus and share the purpose of Prabhas portal and how and what is its long-term vision. Then we will invite Ranjana ji to share her experience, the outcomes of Vaibhav Summit, and then kind of transition that after listening from so many individuals in the Vaibhav Summit, what kind of action items have emerged from that summit. Then we will invite Mr. S.K. Vashney, who is going to share in terms of what are the current opportunities available, maybe it academia, maybe it is research organizations, maybe the government, and that will give us an idea in terms of where we stand. Then it will be our opportunity to hear from Ms. Renu Paul. As India becomes a self-sustained Atmanirbhar, and if we have some understanding about how and what it needs to be done within India, outside India, including GIST community, scientific and technology community, how we can head towards global welfare. Then we will invite again Dr. Mule in terms of giving a little bit more about Prabhas, that what is it already engaged in terms of the SNT diaspora, and what is it required from us in terms of putting some concrete plans for the future. And obviously the partnership with the GIST and also events like this GIST meet can complement and support. With that, I will start sharing a little bit about the challenges and the opportunities and our thinking. So what is GIST? It's a very simple one-line statement I make. It provides a platform for meeting opportunities and solutions. Opportunity is development of Bharat towards self-sustenance or Atmanirbhar. What are our resources? These are the four that we have thought today. The scientists and the technology community, the academicians along with the institutions, then the entrepreneurs and the philanthropists and interested individuals and organizations. If you put them together, you end up with individuals as academicians as well, and organizations, including sometimes the companies. And what is it required? Why it is not moving to the next? Okay. Yeah. So if you take these individuals and translate into what is available, is people have time, individuals have talent, and there may be some individuals who have the mindset of giving back to Bharat one way or the other, because they may not have time or the talent. They would like to share their treasure or the wealth or the fund some activities here and there. So when we internally discussed with the scientific and technology community, a few things popped up. As individuals, there's always a need in terms of a point of contact, where to go, how to go. And then some kind of standard requirements or the expectations, if it can be put, that would be helpful for individuals in terms of coming with some proposals. I am using the word proposal, but it could be wishes, it could be ambition, it could be desire, but I have captured it as the proposals. And from the GIST point of view, we need to recognize that we need to put a screening system, process the proposals, and probably respond in a very timely manner. People are very eager in terms of this communication. Sometimes we forget that there's a time difference between Bharat and US, that 10 and a half hours is a long time, and we want answer to be coming back immediately, things like that. And obviously there is some personal biases is always involved because of the past experiences, whatever may be the reason. Then when we talk about the companies and organizations, there is something about corporate social responsibility, and there is something about intellectual properties. There could be something about secrecy. So we need to be cognizant about understanding those, and we need to have some clarity in terms of do's and don'ts. And the companies could be small size or the mid size, and sometimes irrespective of their sizes, they will also be looking for a partner based in Bharat, and at times maybe some funding. So we don't know how we need to go forward, but these are the challenges that I'm putting forward. And again, in proposals, especially when the companies and the agencies is involved, there are rooms for personal bias, which is going to be there because we are all human beings, but we need to figure out a way to work around that one. Now, a little bit more into individuals. Many individuals are having gained expertise with their long years of experience. They are very eager to transfer knowledge, and they are very are eager to give it back to the community. Specifically from Bharat, we have come, and therefore giving back to Bharat is something very passionate, not knowing whom to turn into for engaging ourselves. And at times in the communication, they will provide their proposals, but this also lacks ability to verify, vet it. So we need to think about it, what we need to do. Similarly, sometimes it is also a perception that not appropriate interest expressed among the concerned people, and the bias there is always there, that we know more than you kind of thing, and that also is a subjective bias which you need to work around. And also there's very high expectations. Though I gave the proposal, I need to get it done, I communicated. So this is something managing is another challenge. I am positive you are all familiar with these, but I'm just putting them together in one nutshell. Now, some of the people, they kind of express their desire and they give long feedback. Just a couple of examples. People have worked in the rare disease areas and they want to see how it could be of help for Bharat. People have worked in creating rare disease advisory commission. How can this be useful and how Ministry of Health and Family Welfare can use it for drafting a national policy. And also many individuals are expert in the research arena and they have plenty of time at their plate and they would like to see how we can interact. Not that we are seeking position, not that we need any kind of recognition, not that we are looking for any monetary benefit, but my expertise doesn't want to die along with me. So those are the kind of things that, and obviously the data, can it be genuine? In terms of the nutrition, do we have standard? Is something that we can follow? Because if the solution comes, it can go around in many places, many states, through many organizations. And also when we talk about treatment, whether it is Ayush or other kinds, it is, do we have evidence-based evidences so that we can make the planning accordingly? And then another uh, thing that we feel extremely proud, extremely is the huge young population that is available in Bharat. And there is an eager urge, not that India is not doing anything about it, but it is even more than that. The urge is that, there are models available in US, Germany, and many other European countries, maybe Eastern countries. How can we use it? How can we give them vocational training? And when we are doing it, there's a desire also that, we need to teach them the modern science. We need to upgrade their tools and engineering and applications and the technologies. And similarly, can it is something like training on the job? Can the research projects be mutually beneficial? It would be learning at the one hand, and at the same time, it would be contributing to the development of Bharat. Then a little bit about the collaborations. And today, at least in US, the performance of Indians across all sectors is recognized. They feel that this is something they need to replicate, and that's why IITs have become so buzzword in this country. Major companies are hiring Indian CEOs just because of their mindset of inclusive philosophy. And then similarly, I just want to say a couple of words about Guru Vandana, an event organized by children honoring their own teachers. And when they see this event, the teachers are kind of surprised. The education board is surprised. Elected officials are surprised because it is the same school system, it is the same curriculum, it is the same faculty. Why is it the children of Indian origin or the Asian origin perform so well? Their going to undergrad and grad is very high. So they have started looking into how exactly the system, in addition to school, children, teacher, board, the complementary role of the society and the families. So they are very curious about it. So this is something that we need to be very proud of it, and we need to think about how this can take the India's aspects towards the global welfare. And also the collaborations with NRIs, and can we develop programs partnering with the schools and colleges? There are memorandum of understanding in the past, some experience. Can this be replicated and multiplied in many places? Obviously, we are all familiar with the exchange programs of faculty, students, and researchers. So at the end, these are few questions that I will just ask, and we will move forward. That we are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat and global welfare. So today, from Bharat, India, what programs and platforms that focus in moving in that direction of global welfare? GIST is ambitious. How would the government of India envision GIST being part of it? And our philosophy all the time is there is no wastage, use everything, recycle, And even anything we do, we look from cost effective, not compromising the performance, but it has to be still efficient. And how can these technologies go through India to other developing countries? I think, in short, our conversations, if it helps to build some success stories,